Sulia.
Alright guys, welcome back to the best podcast in the world. And also in Ghana, obviously, because if it's in the world, it's also in Ghana. And I'm saying Ghana because today we're talking about the Ghana Black Stars. Before we get into it, I'm joined by Selvin Saki, our resident Ghanaian, and Farid, who is also Ghanaian. And if you couldn't guess, I'm also Ghanaian, I'm Zoo. So yeah, welcome to Sulia.
The Ghanaian vegan.
He denies 100% of the time.
Yeah.
He's not a Black Star supporter. I'm telling you, I'm exposing him.
Oh, you can tell them.
I'm exposing
I'm
him.
a
He doesn't
supporter
watch
of
matches.
my adopted country, Norway.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, Black Stars. We are in the international break. We've heard some news. You know, things have not been going on for the Black Stars in the last few years, especially this year. We have. Isn't mathematically certain now.
No, there's a slim chance, but it's like
very slim.
a real Hail Mary. It never works out in our favor.
Yeah.
Essentially, Sudan have to lose their next two matches, and one of them is against the Whipping Boys, Niger. So
then it's done. So we are not going for AFCON 2025.
Apparently, Ghana is going to, as promised, Niger that they'll pay them if they're able to win the game, and they're also sending supporters.
Do you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny for me?
Niger.
Do you know what's funny for me?
Sudan.
Do you know what's funny for me? If Sudan failed to win those two games, Ghana will go and lose.
Beat Angola.
We'll go and lose.
Angola.
Ghana will go and lose. I'm telling you something.
We are not serious, anyways.
So yes, we are here to talk about the Black Stars, and I think we have to change our name from Star. What can we change it to? Black Stars.
Greatest.
They're just black. They are not stars. Yeah. So, Selwyn, we've had news today that at the time of recording that 8 players have dropped out of the squad.
Yep.
Why? Why
Anyway, before that,
who are the players as
before
well?
that, let's give shout out to the oldest club in Ghana and the best club in Ghana, Accra
Hey,
Hearts of Oak.
phobia. Why are we shouting them out? Them shout.
113 years today.
Oh, happy birthday.
11th November 1911.
They almost got relegated last year, right?
Yes.
Damn.
And they're back again. So 113 years to Accra Hearts of Oak.
Happy birthday.
And yeah, we get into it. So these players have dropped out of the team just today. Joseph Painso, Antoine Semenyo, Ibrahim Osman, he's injured. Tariq Lamte, Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, Jonas Ajete, and Inaki Williams. They've been replaced by Osman Bukari, Ransford Yaboa, Konix Doffa, Forsen Amankwa, Terry Yegbe, Ebenezer Annan, and Kinsley Shendela. Terry Yegbe.
What position does he play?
He's a central defender.
I can tell.
Anyway, so surprisingly, we've had some of our players drop out, and which
Is it really surprising? I'm not surprised.
on the last day, I mean, for them to, I feel like
You should say earlier, right?
yeah, and the manager will be a bit disappointed with some certain players, and I feel this particular moment is a very important moment in Black Stars in our next phase of Black Star qualifiers with the call-ups and all that, because first of all, the last call-up, Partey said he couldn't come, and then when the manager was making his call-up this time, he didn't call Partey up, and then the question was given to him. He said that he's spoken to Partey and he's made him know why. But we obviously know that it's kind of like a punishment to Partey not coming last international call-up. So that was put in there. But then today, when the players were supposed to report to training to start our qualifiers, 8 players have also announced that.
Just 8 players should have.
I've said that they will not.
But how many players were training today?
So 8 players were also at training today. And these players were Razak Simpson, who's a local player for Nations FC. Isaac Afo is also a local player at Samatex. Emmanuel Enchi is also a local player for Kotoko. Then Gideon Mensah came from France. Kudus is in town. Elisha Wusu, Joseph Wolocott, and Osman Bukari. 8 players trained today.
Osman Bukari is the one that they just called.
Yes.
Hey, you make ready.
You
make ready.
Yeah, anyway, these are players that trained today. And for our itinerary, this qualifiers, 8 players are training today, which is Monday. That's our first training session on 5 p.m. Tuesday, we are training again in Accra Sports Stadium. Wednesday, we are flying out to Angola. Thursday, they are training in Luanda. And on Friday, they are playing against Angola in Luanda, 15th. So 8 players are training today. How many are going to train tomorrow before they fly to Angola?
Wow.
That's the question for the gods. A must-win game for us to qualify for the AFCON.
Ferry, let me come to you. We are going to Angola, Luanda to play. When I say we, I mean, I say Norwegian, I don't even know what I'm saying we. But yes, the Ghanaians, are going to Angola to play Angola, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, at this point, Angola have pretty much qualified. So I think Ghana are banking on the hope that they might kind of phone it in for the match and maybe give Ghana a bit of an easy touch. I mean, even if they gave us an easy touch, I wouldn't put my money anywhere near this Black Stars to get any kind of results. Even Niger, we couldn't beat, and Niger had a whipping, but like people who I don't know who will watch this podcast who hasn't followed the Black Stars for a long time, but like we mentioned some names and like there are foregone conclusions. Like we don't even need to watch the match and then that okay, like some 2-0 or some 3-0. And nowadays, like you're watching a match, I was watching the Sudan match, the one we played away, and I just knew we would lose because there's no passion, no intensity, and I feel it's very telling from the 8 players who dropped out. Like I was just before I came for the podcast, I was sitting in some chicken and fish and chip shop. I was watching Premier League highlights, and Semenyo, who apparently reported that he has tweaked some Achilles tendon or something, was playing ball, putting himself on the line, throwing his body around, Charlie. And I'm like, oh, so now you are injured. Some people are saying, oh, they are undergoing rehabilitation.
But do you blame them?
I blame them. Look, I mean, forget everything else. Like we management, all of that is nonsense. All of that's Charlie. Playing for your country, national pride is something that should come before anything else. And I feel
but I understand what you're saying, but here's a case where it's a lost cause.
But you have to fight till the like we've seen lost causes. We've seen lost causes before that have been pulled out with the fire. Let's say Angola give us a soft touch and Sudan are facing Niger and Niger do some magic and Charlie 2-1. Hey boys, come on. Then it goes to the last game, Angola versus Sudan. All of a sudden, Charlie, we hear Angola leading 2-1. Like we've seen some weird. Look at Cities win their first Premier League under the Etihad ownership. It was magic. Magic can happen. I'm not saying that
we had Aguero, we have Osman Bukari. It's different.
Forget about it. Like a lot has been leveled at this current setup. A lot has been leveled at this current crop of players that they are essentially playing for the nice matches, the World Cups and the AFCON, right? And they're not doing anything to dispel those rumors because they are the ones that have put us here. Why are they taking themselves out? Semenyo, you are doing bits for Bournemouth, and for whatever reason, you come to Ghana and Charlie and Tariq Lamptey, you don't see your show, but you still are. Come and just show your face. Inaki Williams, you leave the Black Star setup and you go and bang in 2 goals your very next game. And Kudus same. I mean, I'm not putting Kudus in that fire line, but like
honestly, I understand what you're saying, but I can't blame the players because it can't be a coincidence that all these players, when they go back to their clubs, they all play so well. When they come to Ghana, see Jordan plays so well when he goes back to Leicester, Fatau, even Salisu, all the players.
Dalo yesterday because of Fatau.
Like all the players play so well when they go to their clubs, but when they come to the Black Stars, it just doesn't click.
I feel it's lack of commitments. I feel like they don't have like and again like young fans may not understand, but I have vivid memories of like sheer bloody mindedness. Like exactly, they're crazy man. Like they are putting their bodies on the line. Look, they will hurt themselves playing for Ghana. Now they hurt themselves from the club. They don't come for Ghana. Back in the day, they used to tear Achilles tendons. Michael Essien will go to an AFCON, even though he's partly injured, go and tear his anterior cruciate ligament even more and essentially destroy his Chelsea career. I'm not saying that's what should happen, but that was players playing for the jersey, passion, national pride. And now all of these people are just like, and I don't blame them necessarily because I don't feel like they truly feel like they're Ghanaian. We saw just before these 2 Sudan matches, Ketukreku went to stand there, and I'm not throwing shade. People were bashing at me. I'm not doing any politics here. He went to stand there and essentially was trying to G them up, like let them understand what it means to play for Ghana. You could see from their faces, a lot of them really didn't understand like what he was trying to say, And for him to actually have to go and do that screams, I mean, I'll pan to Tariq Lamptey. Tariq Lamptey just looking at him like, what was the guy talking about? Yeah, and they were looking at each other like, Charlie, what's going on? But like, people like teams of the past, Black Stars teams of the past, didn't need to be told what it meant that you are going to play Sudan twice and you wouldn't even get a win. You get 1 point against 2 games against Sudan. Yeah, like there's some pride that should be at stake.
Sulia